Hello and welcome to this presentation from Tektronix, faster wide bandgap device characterization for improved time to market. My name is Andrea Vinci and I am a technical marketing manager at Tektronix, focusing on Keithley Instruments business unit and performance. We are really grateful to be part of this incredible event, the Bodo wide bandgap event. Every year since the very beginning, we enjoy attending this show. And in particular, we consider this event extremely important for evangelizing about the latest solutions offered by the test and measurement market for precise and fast measurements of the silicon carbide and gallium nitride devices or modules or any sort of wide bandgap components used also in any of the multiple power electronics conversion systems. After a quick introduction about Tektronix, we'll see how we do fit this space in both the semiconductor R&D and the manufacturing workflow, and we will briefly present our strengths and unique value proposition with regards to the most frequently type of test applications in this context. So Tektronix is almost 80 years old company, strong, very well-known brand, who acquired Keithley Instruments as well in order to propose a complete solution portfolio. What I love about this slide is that it really explains why we do differentiate from others. We not only committed to performance, many suppliers actually are, but what we try to do is to innovate together with our customers. And our customers have a daily confrontation with complexity, with challenging procedures that are very prone to errors. So what we try to offer is an ecosystem of solutions that ease their daily needs, is their daily job, that makes everything simpler and clearer. And we want to allow engineers really to finally jump to their next step, concentrate on realizing the beautiful ideas that they have in mind. I mentioned before about the Tektronix and the Keithley portfolio of solutions. The opportunity offered from having a broad set of test solutions is essentially that it allows us to play in the space of semiconductor advanced material characterization on the research space, but also having a presence into the various stages of the semiconductor market manufacturing workflow. So this is really important because regardless of the specific stage and area you might be involved or be a specialist at, we may have something interesting for you. We try to collect voice of customers, feedback every day, in order to improve our solutions and increment any hardware specification or any software, any tie-in application software capability that it reflects changes in the test requirements process that you can see every day. We can offer a test solution for silicon carbide and gallium nitride then in almost any of these stages, probably except for the simulation part for now. There is not enough time to get into the details today for each of the capabilities, so I will try to mention the most important. Here, I think you can easily recognize double pulse test analysis setup. This is an industry standard technique for measuring a range of important parameters during turn on, turn off, reverse recovery, etc. All the switching parameter that the user needs to acquire during double pass test are the voltage between drain and source, the current on the drain, the VGS, and the VGS can be on the low side, but also on the high side. From a hardware perspective, you really need a full bench of instruments. You need to start with an AFG, an arbitrary function generator, and we have high performance AFGs, which actually are fully programmable. They are the ideal choice of equipment that acts as a gate driver device. Why? Because they include a double pulse test application. It's a plugin software that provides on a clear and easy way a user interface for full control capability for generating 2 or more varying pulses, varying the duration and the distance between these pulses. And this can be used as an output to an isolated gate driver to trigger the power devices in order to start the conduction of current. And we also offer all the power supplies, to supply energy to the circuit. So we offer high voltage power supplies, but also we offer SMUs, source measure units, up to 3 kilovolts. And we have a long list of smaller power supplies to provide power to the gate drive circuitry as well. And they are also fully programmable. And of course, we offer up to 8 channels oscilloscope with a wide portfolio of voltage and current probes, isolated probes, etc. But today, I'd love to focus on the effort, on the aspect that we focused for minimizing errors, for reducing the time to measure. So our scopes actually embed a software application that offers an automated measurement setup for the JEDEC or the IEC standards that users need to comply. And this is a unique feature because essentially you can perform all the measurements in an automated way, and then you can have a per cycle analysis. You can customize it, you can add annotation, you can change the custom reference level settings. You can configure the integration point for the energy calculation. You can adjust your power preset as you like. And essentially, you can do whatever you want that is specific for your device under test. The wideband gap DPT, double pass test application, really saves a lot of time and costs to engineers. It's quick to set up and measure. And then it allows the test engineer then to focus on other aspects like the debugging or improving their design. Let's see here the IV characterization of wideband gap semiconductor. This is essentially a methodology, for understanding the material or a device fundamental properties from deriving essentially a current and voltage characteristic curve. And from these, you can understand the performance in details. So some customers need to do this IV, current voltage tracing. Sometimes they need also to do CV, capacitance and voltage tracing. And they may not have time to integrate many different instruments to perform these. Also, they don't want to deal with the difficulties or the electrical issues to switch between IV and CV measurements. So this is where we propose our Tektronix Keithley 4200A SCS system. It's a parameter analyzer, and customer basically doesn't need to perform any complex thing because all the programming is already embedded in an extensive library of tests that is integrated in the machine. And also the hardware offers automatic switching, or between the measurement types. And this translates into a very fast analysis time, really reducing the time from the setup to running characterization test up to 50%. Some customers are working on silicon carbide. They need a solution that can collect lots of IV curves data up to 3000 volts. They need configurable power levels. They need wide dynamic ranges. They are measuring, from microvolts to kilovolts or currents from femtoamps to hundreds of amps. And they actually request the setup to be modular. They want the setup to be upgradable on the field very easily and reconfigurable. So our PCT, our parametric curve tracer systems, are based actually on aggregated SMUs. And this can be upgraded easily in the future and depending on the needs that you have. And all the individual instruments can be used separately for other applications. For those who need to perform breakdown voltage, they need to test up to 1000 volt and measure the leakage current, for instance, at the same time, but also they have a limited budget. We offer a single box solution with an application embedded for performing the curve tracing. It's the 2470 SMU. Wideband gap power electronics devices can withstand extreme environmental conditions like very high operating temperatures. These and a lot of other capabilities impact the requirements for proving the reliability of the power electronic devices. So the reliability tests, they really involve stressing batches of sample devices for hundreds or thousands of hours with ratings that are beyond the normal operating voltages and temperatures. So during this stress, a variety of operating parameters are measured at a specific time interval, logged, saved in long recording data logging for further data analysis and statistical evaluation. Here we're talking about tests like the HTOL or the HTRB or the HTFB. These tests, etc., they need to use a continuous bias sometimes, such as a fixed voltage, or sometimes they need a staircase ramp, or they have a cycled bias that essentially apply a duty cycle or, a bias voltage is changed at a certain frequency. So the test instrumentation must be capable of supplying, enough power to test many devices in parallel and to control these power supplies. But also you need to grant measurement accuracy, measurement resolution, and high-speed logging. You really need to have a full control of a multiple instrument setup and synchronization of all these, and a reliable software tool to continuously log for days and nights without any risk of interruption. And this is basically what is offered by our Kickstart software application. We finally cover the parametric test systems at the wafer level in production. So we have test system models that can have up to 64 Kelvin pins. We can assign all our test resources to any of these test pins, and our system can test all the parameters in a single probe touchdown. This is really great because it offers high speed and high accuracy, IDC source and measure capabilities of everything, including capacitance, resistance, etc. And the performances at the production level depend very much also on how good you are in optimizing the test algorithms, because you need to achieve an adequate compromise between accuracy and the throughput that you want for your measurement. So here comes also the expertise of our application engineer. We have experts with a long experience in measurement methods that can optimize the test code, and this is really the value, also the added value that we offer on top of the hardware and software and service. So that's it. This is just a quick summary of all the applications that we serve from lab to fab, and all the type of instruments that we can offer to you from both Tektronix and Keithley portfolio. So thank you very much for your attention. Here are my contact details. If you want to reach out for any type of questions, please do, and enjoy the rest of the Bodo Wideband Gap online event. Thank you.